When Edward R. Murrow challenged Senator Joseph McCarthy's methods in his quest for national security, it was a perfect example of the two-wayness of American politics. Politicians act and the public responds, but in between these two responses are the media. Murrow's fearless pursuit of justice was just a starting point for the members of a convergence culture to enter the conversation on politics. In Good Night and Good Luck, we clearly saw the flow of information through the back and forth on television that was continued with back and forth banter in the newspapers. In today's age of collective intelligence, however, we have the internet, which has spawned millions of new conversations encompassing views from all across the spectrum of ideas. In 2009, politicians and journalists are no longer the only ones conversing. Bloggers have crashed the media's party, and they've crashed it hard, circulating information and ideas more than network television would like. On page 245 of Convergence Culture, Henry Jenkins states, "Candidates and parties lost some degree of control over the political process, and networks seemed a bit less authoritative in defining the terms by which the public understood the campaign. The loss of control can be attributed to internet bloggers whose goal is to inform us beyond the over-edited and clearly packaged information that we hear on network news. These packages can be dangerous because of their selective editing. People want to hear new ideas, and the collective intelligence is speaking out and speaking loudly. In no way, shape, or form is every single group represented fairly and ideologically on television. This is where the internet plays a more representative role. The Million Woman March, as seen in Everett's article, is a perfect example of our editorialized commercial media at work. This event was in a sense edited out of television because it was not covered, but the group still used the internet to draw interest and attention to their cause. On page 227 of Television After TV, Everett states, "The significance of the internet's role in the success of the Million Woman March testifies to the marginalized black masses' refusal to be reduced to what Paolo Carpignano and others term television news's edited public." But, as it is made clear in Good Night and Good Luck, we all have our own ways of editing. The edited public exists, no matter whether it's TV editing, it's conversationalist editing, or it's web bloggers editing. It's just natural to selectively omit thoughts or ideas from our arguments. We do it without thinking every single day. And in no way do bloggers even claim to be objective. This is where the internet can both thrive, yet be very dangerous. It seems like bloggers are going against what I call the commercial media spin, which is the perceived influence of the corporate package on news. This makes the internet a place where groups like organizers of the Million Woman March can reject television as much as television rejected them. Opting for the internet so they can create their own image, this group was successful. An overarching tone of blogs is that they keep it real. Not in the sense that all of their information is factual, but in the sense that their content is independent of corporate and monetary interests. The material can often be offensive, compromising, and often is aggressively one-sided. But consumers of this information don't seem to care, and this can even be a good thing. On page 236 of Convergence Culture, Jenkins refers to an overarching public concern over the ways media concentration was distorting public access to important information. Bloggers are trying to break up this concentration. They're doing their part to alter our information sources, shifting relations between the top-down corporate media and the bottom-up participatory culture. Television has succeeded in responding to this network package, with programs like The Daily Show and The Colbert Report that mock or spoof our current news. Daily Show host Jon Stewart's criticism of Tucker Carlson on CNN's Crossfire can best sum up the general idea of these shows. He said, "You have the responsibility to the public discourse, and you fail miserably. You're helping the politicians and the corporations. You're part of their strategies." He may be right that these shows are part of the corporations and the politicians' strategies, but it's also possible that our participatory culture has become detrimentally overactive. The loss of control that I mentioned earlier is double-sided. It's great for the American citizenship to have access to all the information about each political candidate, but isn't there extent to which these websites are clouding our judgment? When is too much information too much, and when is too much false, fake, and highly influential information too much? How informed can we be when we're making serious political choices as a nation based on whether our candidate can successfully navigate the minefield that is our socio-political media coverage? Are these types of programs and blogs really helping their cause anyway? Even though there are blogs that are strictly informative, they're being overshadowed by the parodies and the Photoshop sites that mock our politics. Could it be that the very existence of these blogs is forcing our commercialized news media to become even more packaged and strictly edited, the thing they were originally trying to avoid? I know if I were a campaign director, I would be wary of these internet vultures, telling my candidate to tighten up his actions and speeches just in case anything's exploited. Preserving public image is more important than ever with these internet vultures around, and it could very well be that the bloggers have exploited their privilege as informers. These sites search and search for the slightest bits of information, and sometimes just take the information that's there and that's widely accepted and twist it and conform it so we don't even recognize what was said. Politicians are then hiding their true personalities from the public in reaction. It could very well be that our collective intelligence system is wrongly ruining the political careers of candidates that could have won their elections. I can't help but think of Howard Dean's infamous Iowa caucuses scream, "Ee-oh!" and how his campaign was over before it even started, killed not by faulty platforms, not by lack of support, but by compromising photoshopped photos of him grabbing Janet Jackson's boob and countless YouTube parodies of him doing that scream. 8 years later, is that scream really important? Do we really care? Or would we have been happier with productive platforms and good political strategy? The point being that we should really talk about whether the internet is perpetuating the very problems that they are trying to solve. There could be a point where keeping it real goes wrong.